This is Andy Gutierrez from StarWars.com, and you are listening to Coffee with Kenobi with Dan Z. This is the podcast you're looking for.
This is James Arnold Taylor, and you're listening to Coffee with Kenobi. I have a good feeling about this.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to CWK, live every Monday night at 7 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. It's Coffee with Kenobi. It's Dan Z. It's our amazing Coffee with Kenobi community. We're thrilled, of course, to be here together, and I am thrilled to be talking Star Wars with each and every one of you. Look at this. We've got a lot of people here tonight. I've got a good feeling about this as well. Let's bring everybody in. Minta is here. Minta, this is the way. It's CWK Day. Minta, great to have you. By the way, when is the big day? I don't remember if you told us or not. Mary, happy Monday to you. Good to have you back, of course. Ross, happy Monday night Star Wars. See, I tried to plan these, so when the Bears play on Monday night, I'm only going to miss a little bit of it, so we'll see how that goes. Nicholas is excited for the episode. I'm excited for it, too. This was a very challenging one, which we're certainly going to talk a lot about. Hello, Terry. Good to have you, buddy. Jason says, it's going to be great to be with you tonight. I hope I do this what if thing right. I don't watch the Marvel shows. I have nothing but faith in you, Jason. If you use your imagination, which I know you do, you'll be in good shape. Hello, Blake. What is up, my friend? Matthew Graken is here. Hello, everyone. Who needs Monday Night Football when you have CWK Live? Exactly, especially when the Bears aren't playing, right? I think it's Packers tonight. Let's hope for a Packers loss. No offense if you're a Packers fan out there. Brian said, I have a good feeling about this, which I love it. Yes, the beard is back. I told you it doesn't take very long. And I noticed today, I posted a picture. I look like still in Geos from the High Republic. I'm like, all right, I guess there are worse things. Blake says, Dan, that shirt is a thing of beauty. Thank you. I got this at Celebration Orlando. It was like a custom one that you could do in the shop itself. Colby says, return of the beard. Yes, the beard is back. I like to have a beard around teacher time, and once it gets to be fall, that's when it's time to really kick this thing in. Hello, Christina. Good to have you back on the program. Minta said, the big day is happening October 9th, literally weeks away. Wow, we're very excited for you. It's so incredible. Hello, Jamie. What's up, my friend? Hopefully you have your list as well. Tonight we're going to be doing our top 5 what-ifs. New haircut style looks good. Thanks, Ross. Yes, it is a new haircut. I was letting it grow for a long time, but got some fun things coming up, and I thought I would look a little more respectable. So thank you. And Mrs. Zare approves, so that, of course, is the big one. Hello, Daniel. What is up, buddy? Brian says, can't wait to hear the what-ifs tonight. Yes, good. Well, again, just so it's clear, I'm pretty sure that it is, but this tonight is a fan choice. This is our choices for if there was such a thing as a Star Wars what-if, and there isn't. This is not a big announcement, unfortunately. No, this is like if there was a Star Wars what-if by fans. What will we come up with our topics? I'm expecting this is going to be really fascinating. Matthew said, days before my son's birthday. Congratulations. Wow, yeah, that's for Minta's wedding. Jason says, I'm no longer a scruffy-looking nerf herder. That's true. I'm not. Well, tonight on the show, we've got top 5 Star Wars what-if fan topics, Star Wars news and updates, and, of course, your comments and questions. I'm excited for it. I'm excited to talk with you all. I'm really excited for you all to see Star Wars Visions. So, if you've been following along Coffee with Kenobi and my personal Twitter account, you know that I've seen all 9 episodes of Star Wars Visions, and you know I like it. And that's all I can say. But I have a feeling if you're very patient and the Force is with you, sooner rather than later, you're going to find out a lot more about Star Wars Visions. So stay tuned. Mary says, Minta, if you feel comfortable doing it, please share some wedding pics on the CWK Cafe page. That would be fun. Hello, Mason Z. What is up, buddy? But Mason's got a great list. Mason and I made our lists together. We need to get to those lists. All right, let's do this. Let's go ahead and jump into what is brewing in the world of Star Wars this week. So yes, this is going to be a fun show tonight. I'm excited about it. As far as, hey, Josh is here. What's up, man? Good to have you back on the show. What's brewing tonight? I don't have a lot of cool action figures to show you, but I do have something that I think is pretty cool. And that is Star Wars The High Republic. We joked at the beginning of the show that My haircut and beard looks like Stellan Geos, which you see in the front and center there. But the part 3 of this first round of the High Republic, basically every wave of the High Republic, this will be wave 3. This one comes out, I believe, January 4th. So it's a ways away. But this book is the third part of the adult series of the High Republic. I mean, they're all very adult themed. They're all very intense, and they have some really compelling, powerful things. I mean, keep wanting to say heavier and intense because that's what they are. So Claudia's going to do this one. Claudia, of course, is a New York Times bestselling author. She's one of the great Star Wars authors out there. Ross says Claudia is such a gift. She is a gift. We just talked about The Rising Storm. The second one, of course, the first one was Light of the Jedi. So The Rising Storm was by Kevin Scott. Light of the Jedi was by Charles Soule. And then the third one will be The Fallen Star. It'll be interesting to see what happens. Each one of these, is this the last novel of the main book series? I'm only 97 pages into the first one still. Oh, it is of this first. Basically, they said they're having a number of different waves of them. So this is like part 3 of the first wave of Star Wars. Or I don't know if wave is the right term, but basically the first era of the High Republic. This is the part 3 of it. Blake, you need to catch up, bud. It's good. Really good. Christina says she's loving the High Republic and really looking forward to the next installment. Yeah, so I am too. So you've got the main one. You've also got the young adult one. Usually the young adult ones are as good, if not better, than the main novels. I love the young adult ones. They're really, really good. Mission to Disastrous, Justina Ireland. You've got 2 really awesome Jedi on the cover that are some of my very, very favorites. So we'll talk about them a little bit later, perhaps. I'd love to do a High Republic show on Facebook Live. I'm just not sure how many people have read them. Daniel says, I've yet to read the second book, but plan to this fall. Daniel, it's great. And I'm telling you, as I said this on Facebook a few weeks ago, don't read the last page until you get to the last page because it is something else. So you've got the main book, you've got the young adult book, and then you've got, actually, this is more the young adult one. The second one is more for like younger readers, 5th to 8th grade. I put this one about 8th grade, junior high to high school, as far as how it's sold. But young adult novels, by the way, and I study young adult literature in college quite a bit. Young adult novels are often better than normal novels. Now, they have all the same adult themes and ideas and intrigue. They're excellent. That's a great cover. Daniel Jose Older is writing this one, Midnight Horizon. So that's the 3 main novels that are going to carry the third wave of the High Republic. But of course, with the High Republic, you've also got comics. So you've got some great looking covers right there. Look on the very, very left, The Eye of the Storm. This promises to be the origin, written by Charles Soule, of Marchion Ro. I mean, look at it. Look at how stunning that cover is. They're going to hear more about his origins. It's been teased throughout in some of the other books and in the audiobook Tempest Runner. But it looks like it's going to be one heck of a comic book. Blake says, I don't know anything still about this era of publishing, but the cover art is amazing. They're great. And Blake, I highly recommend the audiobooks if you want to catch up while you're driving around and stuff. It's a lot easier to do that. Christina says, I agreed, and I'm actually really enjoying the younger readers and the young adult novels. Yeah, they're good. Matthew just started playing Star Wars Fallen Order on PS4 and loves it. Yeah, it's a really great game. Daniel says he loves the robes on the cover. They're slick. Christina loves Fallen Order. Fallen Order is good. Here's some more comics. Those are Marvel ones. These are IDW ones. The Star Wars, The High Republic Adventures. A couple new ones coming out there as well, along with an annual on the right. The Nihil are the big villains in the High Republic, and I think they're just really fascinating. You see one on the very, very right holding that large rifle. And then you've got the second graphic novel done in anime style, The Edge of Balance, which is super cool. Hey, Alex, what's up, man? No, sorry, necessary. Glad to have you on the show. Very good. All right, well, this is it. Let's just jump right in, right? Let's go ahead and take a look at your top 5s. Tonight's top 5. And this is the one that I know a lot of people were excited about, and it really makes you put on your critical thinking cap. Top 5 Star Wars What If fan topic. So the premise of What If in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and these were comics back 20, 30 years ago, but they would have like a what if Spider-Man, what if Venom became the Punisher, or what if Uncle Ben had lived, or in the series that's on Disney Plus now, the Amazing series, what if Captain Carver took the super soldier serum, just stuff like that. So we're going to come up with if we, as fans, if we were able to come up with our own stories, what will we pick for our top 5 Star Wars what if topics? I'm very excited about this. I expect to be talking a lot, and I'm okay with it. That helps with the live show. Now, my number 5 is Kylo Ren as a foil in The Rise of Skywalker. Now, a foil means a good guy. It means you counter the main character and you sort of mirror them. Think Harry Potter and Ronald Weasley is a good example of a classic, or Iron Man and Captain America, Tony Stark and Steve Rogers. They're great foils for each other. What if Kylo Ren was a foil in The Rise of Skywalker and not the antagonist through 90% of the film? But I always thought it would have been cool if he was sort of redeemed or started to go down that path at the end of The Last Jedi, which there are certainly hints to, and then it jumps into him being a good guy and there's a new villain. I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to try to rewrite history. I'm just saying for me, for my what if, I think this would be cool. This would be really cool. So that's my number 5. Kylo Ren is a foil in The Rise of Skywalker. Let's see what everybody else has. Number 5 for Terry. What if Palpatine was a Jedi working off the record trying to discover the identity of a secret Sith Lord who ends up being Yoda? Wow, that's awesome. I'm going to be saying wow a lot. That's a great one, Terry. Mary. Number 5, what if WoW had released Anakin's mother too? I wish. Oh, these are good. These are good. I hope a lot of people get to check this one out. Alex, what if Han joined Crimson Dawn at the beginning of Solo? Ooh, wouldn't that be interesting? That could be very different. Kylo Ren might have never been born if that were the case. Jason, what if Jar Jar didn't grant emergency powers to Chancellor Palpatine? Oh my gosh. Seriously. I mean, what can you say? What can you say? I'm just going to start doing this every time I read one because they're all so good. Yeah, these are all so good. Keep them coming. Nicholas, what if Jar Jar was the chosen one? Oh, if Jar Jar was the chosen one. That's great. It is now up to the Jedi Council to protect him from the Sith and separatists alike because of his global nature. You know what? At first I thought you were being silly, but now I think this is genius, Nicholas. I like that a lot. He is actually, fragile and vulnerable. He has to learn to be tough and to stand on his own 2 feet. And that's actually brilliant, Nicholas. Thank you. I like that. I apologize if I was being silly before because I thought you were being silly, but you weren't. Or I don't know, but I think it's a great choice. Blake, what if Greedo didn't miss? What if other Cantina backgrounds go in villainy? Will we want to see pilot Luke to the Death Star or save Luke when he's in the Death Star? Wow. Dang, that's a good one too, man. These people you guys are really put on your thinking caps. What if Darth Maul defeated Obi-Wan on Naboo? Oh, wouldn't that be interesting? This would be a lot different for Rebels. This fits one of my what ifs. That must be tied to something else, perhaps. Let's see. Ross, what if Han Solo didn't know any Shriwook? Then Han Solo would probably not be alive. I don't know. That's a good question. Matthew, what if Dooku did not turn to the dark side? Gosh, wouldn't that be cool? But it was almost like a Mace Windu type. Brian, what if they sent Anakin to take out Grievous on Utapau? Ooh. How did I not think of this? It's the canon. Everyone knows Jar Jar is the chosen one. Well, thank you, Josh. Is that a spoiler or is that real? What if Uncle Ben and Aunt Beru weren't home when the Stormtroopers showed up? Ooh, I like that one too. Mason's number 5, and I think you're all going to like this one a lot as well, is what if Vader doesn't save Luke in Return of the Jedi? That's Mason's number 5. What if Darth Vader does not save Luke at the end of Return of the Jedi? Talk about changing the scope of things. Yeah, pretty wild. Okay, wow, those were amazing, and we're just getting started. Let's go ahead and jump into number 4. My number 4. What if Luke is frozen instead of Han in The Empire Strikes Back? What if Vader actually captures his prized possession, takes him to the Emperor that way, and then Han has to rescue Luke? Wouldn't that be a lot different of a dynamic? It'll be a lot harder too because Han is not one with the Force. Well, he's not Force sensitive by any stretch of the imagination. So I always thought it'd be cool if Luke was frozen instead of Han in The Empire Strikes Back. Okay, Minta. What if Rey were a direct descendant of Obi-Wan Kenobi instead of a descendant of Palpatine? She would be more in tune with the Force in the beginning and would have an edge over Kylo. I would have really liked that, honestly. Terry, what if the Empire tracked down Yoda on Dagobah during Luke's training? I actually thought about putting that one down. And then I kind of lost my train of thought. That's good, Terry. That's really cool. Mason's is similar to my number 1, Mary says. Wow. Cool. All right, Jason, what if Din Djarin didn't go back to rescue Grogu from the Client? Ooh. I was trying to think of a Mandalorian one, but I couldn't think of one. That's a good one. That's sad. Christina, Ahsoka rejoins the Jedi Order. Would she still have survived Order 66? Would she have been able to influence Anakin? Ooh, gosh, I think that would have brought about a whole different kind of darkness, wouldn't it? I don't know. That's a good idea. Nicholas, what if the Bad Batch had to fight the 501st? The Bad Batch faces a great challenge when Vader sends the 501st on a mission to hunt them. Boy, wouldn't that be cool if that happened in Season 2, by the way? Matthew, what if Luke isn't rescued at the end of The Empire Strikes Back, like off the weather vane? Is that what you mean? Ooh, that would be awful, wouldn't it? Ross, what if Stila Guerrero hadn't died on Onderon? Yeah, that would have probably changed the trajectory of Saw Gerrera, wouldn't it? Cool. Josh, what if Leia went to Tatooine to be raised by Owen and Beru instead of Luke? Oh, that's brilliant. I like that one a lot as well. Interesting. Brian's over for what if Mace Windu didn't kill Palpatine before Anakin... what if Mace Windu did kill Palpatine before Anakin arrived? Interesting. Ben, what's up, Ben? He says, what if Finn never deserted and just gave in to peer pressure? Oh, man. Dark, but true. Alex, what if Leia was raised on Tatooine instead of Luke? Very cool. That's one that, let's see. That's what Josh had said. And Mary, I think I skipped Mary's. What if Han had stayed home with Leia and Ben and didn't send Ben to Luke? Yeah, that could have changed things quite a bit as well, huh? Blake's number 4. What if Obi-Wan teams up with Dooku when he was locked up during Episode 2 and Dooku basically told him everything that was going okay with Palpatine? Interesting. Yeah, that's a cool prequel one, too. I like that. Jamie, what if Jabba turned over Han to Luke as was originally asked? Wouldn't that have been nice? That would have saved a lot of headaches, I think, for people. Mason's number 4 is, quite simply, what if Boba Fett was a good guy? A good guy the whole time, and he fought with the rebels to bring about the demise, the end of the Empire. That's Mason's number 4. That's a good one. Hey, Amber, no problem. We've got you. Go feel free to scroll through the comments. We've got some great stuff here. Ben's number 5, because he gave us 4 already. What if Qui-Gon didn't learn the way to immortality through the Force and no one became a Force ghost? Wow, nice. These are just, you all are just so brilliant, and this is really captivating. I'm really enjoying this. I hope you all are too. We're so excited to give our list. We're not even commenting on each other, so feel free to weigh in when you can, because there's some great stuff. For me, number 3, what if Vader lives at the end of Return of the Jedi? I don't know. What if Vader doesn't die? He saves Luke, gets rid of Palpatine, and he doesn't die. What if that would have happened? This would be a much different post-Return of the Jedi galaxy. Imagine Vader and Luke rebuilding the Jedi Order. I think that'd be awesome. Okay. Daniel, what if Luke did not destroy the Death Star? Would there be a second? Ooh. Yeah, and then they blow up Yavin. That could be fascinating. Mita says, what if Greedo shot first? Oh, Mita, too soon. Alex, what if Qui-Gon lived in Episode 1 and Obi-Wan died instead? Oh, that's smart too, Alex. That's a really clever twist I hadn't thought about. Matthew, what if Mando turned in Grogu? Ooh, man, that's pretty heavy. Terry, what if Obi-Wan escaped the Death Star with Luke and Leia in A New Hope? Now, that's a good idea too. These are so good. Amber, what if Qui-Gon left Anakin on Tatooine? Wow. And just never took him to train him in the first place. Christina, Luke attended the Imperial Academy. Would he have found his way to the rebellion? Would Obi-Wan have followed him? And what would that mean for the Death Star plans? If Luke was not there with the droids, then maybe they would have been found by the Empire. Maybe. Nicholas, what if Grogu tried to stop the First Order? Din Djarin had recently heard rumors Grogu survived Kylo's attack on Luke Skywalker's Jedi Temple. Wanting to reunite with his friend and protect him, Djarin begins to ask questions as to his whereabouts. Wow, that's good, Nicholas. Well thought out. Jason, what if Obi-Wan would have killed Anakin on Mustafar instead of leaving him on the edge of death but still alive? Yeah, then there would be no Vader, would there? Who knows who else would have stepped up for that one? Josh, what if Rey stayed a nobody? By the way, I wish that happened. But anyway, I really would have liked to have seen this. I feel that the Rey Palpatine route did a disservice to her arc in both in The Force Awakens and Last Jedi. So I'd really like to see her stay a nobody. I would have liked that too. Ultimately, I think it ends pretty solidly as far as her taking on a new moniker for herself and forging her own path. But yeah, I think that's smart, Josh. Ross, what if Qui-Gon defeated Darth Maul before Obi-Wan gets through the energy shield? Ooh, that's a cool twist, too. What if... Is that when you say made, Amber, do you mean Mando? What if Mando killed Grogu? Is that what you mean? That would be really scary and dark for sure. Blake, what if Luke joined his father on Cloud 30 during The Empire Strikes Back when Vader said, "Join me"? Think about it. Think about it. That would be... Yeah, instead of jumping off and falling down that massive shaft, what if he says, "All right, I will join you"? Boy, oh boy, I don't think the rebels could recover from that. Yeah, what if Mando turning Grogu? Sorry, autocorrect. No problem. I figured that was the case. Number 3 for Ben. What if Darth Vader let the Emperor kill Luke? Would they have then been destroyed in the Death Star to end both the Jedi and the Sith at once? Wow, that's pretty dark too. Interesting. 3 for Mary. What if the Jedi could marry? Kenobi and Satine, Anakin and Padme, how would they have changed their attitudes and beliefs? I thought about that a lot. I feel like in the High Republic, they entertained some of that concept as well. I like that. Amber, what if Poe and Finn were shot down while escaping the Star Destroyer? Ooh, that would be interesting. See, these are all so... I'm a broken record, but these are so clever. Let's see, Daniel. What if Luke turned to the dark side and became Palpatine's apprentice? I'm assuming then he would defeat Vader, too. Jamie's number 3. What if Anakin never interfered in Palpatine's arrest by Mace Windu? Cool, it's going to be similar to one of mine that's coming up. Brian's number 3. What if Maul escaped Naboo and blew up the palace and fled back to Palpatine in the Phantom Menace? Aaron says, hey, Mr. Z. What's up, Aaron? Good to have you, buddy. We're doing a top 5 of if we had our preferences and we were able to cast and create a what if for the Star Wars universe. These are our fan options. Mason's number 3, by the way, is a good one. This is one that Mason and I came up with. It's going to come up later for me. But Mason's number 3 is, what if Order 66 didn't work? What if Order 66 did not work? A lot of possibilities. I'm going to talk about that later. Number 2 for me, what if Anakin and Mace team up in Revenge of the Sith? What if instead of Anakin choosing to help Palpatine with Mace, what if Anakin and Mace team up and defeat the Emperor? And then it's Anakin and Mace. And then you go a lot of places. To me, you could have them help bring some balance to the galaxy. Or what if they both turn evil? And they're like kind of co-Sith. That would be kind of cool, wouldn't it? I think that would be interesting. Let's see. Where are we here? I don't want to miss anything. What if Palpatine were discovered by the Jedi as a child? Ooh. Ben, I think these are all so dark because Marvel's what ifs are pretty dark. I know, and I've found, and if you remember the CWK Alliance, we have reviewed every episode of What If so far, all 6 that have come out so far. And actually 5 and 6 of our reviews haven't come out yet. They're coming out on Friday. The video comes out on Friday. The podcast comes out on Sunday. But I find I don't like the dark ones as much. I like the ones that still give a sense of heroism and optimism at the end. But that's just me. That's just me. I mean, storytelling wise, I mean, some of my favorite stories are darker anyway, like Hamlet. Certainly Hamilton is darker too, but I love that too. I mean, what if Ahsoka joined with Maul on Mandalore? Oh man, can you imagine? Amber, what if Ahsoka teamed up with Maul and defeated Palpatine? Well, that would be cool too. I'd never thought of that. Blake, what if Luke and Leia weren't separated at birth? Oh, boy, when that would just change the scope of things so much. And you wonder if George had any of these ideas going through his head, too. Terry, what if Qui-Gon returned to Tatooine with the Jedi's blessing and purchased Shmi's freedom? Wouldn't that be great? I've always wished for that. And how would that have affected Anakin? I'm talking so fast tonight, and I apologize. I'm very excited. Your ideas, when I see ideas like you all are giving us, it puts ideas in my head, and my brain just starts going woo really fast. So thank you for your patience. Terry, what if Qui-Gon? Oh, I already said that one. Matthew, what if Ahsoka didn't leave the Jedi during Order 66? Okay, interesting, very interesting. Jason, what if Vader recovered the Still and Death Star plans before they were given to Leia? Wow. Christina's number 2. Yoda trained Leia. Would she have attempted to kill Vader? I wondered that too sometimes. Ross, What if R5D4's motivator didn't blow? Yeah, I don't know. I've never subscribed to the idea that R2D2 did that to R5D4, but that was kind of a popular thing when Star Wars was in theaters originally. Nicholas, what if the Rogue One crew survived? After successfully retrieving the Death Star plans, the Rogue One crew helps fight at the Battle of Yavin, with Cheered Inway starting to teach Luke about the Force. That's a clever idea. Number 2 for Daniel, what if Padme lived? Wow. Mary's number 2. What if Ahsoka isn't betrayed and stays with the Jedi? Could she have stopped Anakin's turn? You know, someone else brought that up, and I can't imagine she'd be able to because he was just so bent on making things hard for himself. But if not, wouldn't that have been cool to see? It would have been very emotional, Mary, for sure. Alex, what if Jango Fett did not give his DNA for the clone army? Who would be the runner-up? Wow, that's an interesting one as well. It's great. Christina says that's her honorable mention. Aaron, something from Legends. What if Outbound Flight succeeded? That's a cool deep cut. Ben, what if Qui-Gon survived to train Anakin? Let's see. That would be cool. Yeah, that's definitely not a dark one. That's definitely more optimistic. Yoda. I know, I was thinking Jedi and Yoda, and I said Yoda. Thank you. What if Ezra sacrificed himself instead of Kanan? Wow. Well, that's interesting. I really want to do something for Rebels. I couldn't think of one, so that's great. Everybody's going to love Mason's number 2. Mason's number 2 is, what if the Porgs were evil? Imagine the hijinks that would have ensued on Ashtel. But Mason says, what if the Porgs were evil? So, pretty entertaining. Terry says, Jango's replacement could have been Cad Bane. Very good. All right, so let's get to number 1. The number 1 top 5 of what if for Star Wars for me is Order 66 fails. What if Order 66 failed? It was Mason's number 3, mine number 1. And then Palpatine doesn't have his army. And the clones and the Jedi work together. And Palpatine has outed himself. And they're able to really make a full-scale assault against him with all of the Jedi intact. Well, I don't think Palpatine is successful then, do you? I don't know. I just think that would have been really cool. All right. Let's see what else we have here. Josh has a really long one. I'm not going to get a chance to read all of it, but feel free to read the comments. Basically, what if Brad Bird and Michael Arndt made The Force Awakens? Some different ideas there that he has about what if it was basically different movies. So interesting. Matthew, what if Danzy was head of the Jedi Council? Wow. Well, I would have to replace Yoda. I don't think I could do that, but wouldn't that be interesting? How scary for the Jedi Council. Aaron, evil porgs like gremlins don't get them wet. Now that's a cool idea. Number 1 for me to what if Luke and the gang met up with the Guardians of the Galaxy? I've had this crossover in my head for years. Let the mischief begin. And imagine Luke. I imagine Han Solo hearing Come and Get Your Love. Wouldn't that be hilarious? Amber, what if Annie didn't cut off Mace's hand and Mace went, and then they killed Palpatine? Yes, that would be wild. Terry, what if we hadn't lost Carrie Fisher? I know. If we hadn't lost Carrie Fisher, I mean, the least important thing is the movies themselves. What matters is the life of her. And I know that you all agree with that, of course. So I feel like I just need to say that. But if Carrie Fisher were alive creatively, and artistically, then she would have been the lead in The Rise of Skywalker. It would have been her story. And that's been said. It was Harrison's for The Force Awakens. It was Hamill's for The Last Jedi. It would have been Carrie's for The Rise of Skywalker. I wish, gosh, for so many reasons, like all of us. I wish that were the case. Boy, that was good, Terry. That really had us take a breath. Alex, what if Thrawn never disappeared at the end of Rebels? Interesting. Christina's number 1. What if Obi-Wan had left the Jedi Order for Satine? What does that mean for the Clone Wars, but also for Mandalore? Could they ever accept a ruler with a former Jedi as their consort? Oh, probably. He'd probably have to prove himself in battle, which would be no problem for him, but that's a cool idea. Jason, what if Anakin resisted the call of the dark side and killed Palpatine instead of becoming his apprentice? Yes, that would be neat. Ross, what if Jedi Knight Kai Narek didn't die on Red Attack and Asajj Ventress remained on the light side of the Force? Interesting. Or what if Jedi Am I Gonna Die lived? I love that Jedi from the Clone Wars. Nicholas, what if Kylo Ren and Rey swapped lives? Jedi Knight Ben Solo was a student of his Uncle Luke, but after the death of his father, Han by Rey Palpatine, known as Ren, Luke starts to be concerned about Ben's recent outbursts. Well, that's cool. That almost made my head hurt. That's so clever. Brian, what if Anakin and Padme live happily ever after on Naboo with the twins? That sounds nice. Really nice. Josh, what if fives have been able to earn Rex in detail? Interesting. Mary, what if Luke joins Vader, they defeat Palpatine, and rule together? So they would be ruling, so I'm assuming that would be bad, right? Not like rule is a force for good. But, gosh, that would be depressing, wouldn't it? Blake, what if Maul didn't kill Qui-Gon and Anakin would have had a real father figure over Obi-Wan? He took over Anakin's master role as debt to Qui-Gon, to a dying Qui-Gon. Qui-Gon was going to be a real father figure to Anakin, which is what he needed more than anything. I like that, Blake. That's very cool. Daniel, what if Kanan Jarrus was able to contain the explosions? Would he go on to train others and become a master? Oh, yeah. I think so. Amber says autocorrect is so crazy. Don't worry. Autocorrect is always crazy. I turned mine off. Quite frankly, I was really frustrated with mine. Brian, what if Rey accepted Kylo's offer and joined him in The Last Jedi? I was secretly wishing it in the theater. What an awesome third act that would be. Kylo foil, maybe. Yep, that's like my number 5. I think that would have been neat. Josh, what if I got to direct my blank check Disney Plus show? Josh, interesting. Josh has had some really cool ones where you're really focusing on sort of like the making of instead of the actual stories themselves. And Josh, I like it, man. I love the enthusiasm. You should definitely write and create, man. All of you. Write, create, get your ideas down just for fun, just to get your ideas down on paper and just have fun with it. Fan fiction is a really, really fun thing. So I like that, Josh, very much. Ben's number 1, mine number 2. What if Anakin let Mace kill the Emperor? Would he still fall into the dark side? Would the Republic stay around? Would Padme have survived? So many questions. That's the turning point of the whole saga after all. It really is. You said it great, Dan. The movies are second to the life of Carrie. She's greatly missed. Terry, thanks, man. I know you share my sentiments exactly. We all do. It's still wild to believe, isn't it? Remember when you saw the end of Rogue One and Carrie had just died, and we saw Princess Leia on screen? That was something else. Aaron, I still want my Star Wars horror survival movie. A band of explorers charting new hyperspace routes and ends up being stranded on Hoth and is hunted by a Wampa. Wasn't that called The Thing? Didn't we see that movie, Aaron? That probably inspired what you're saying, my friend. Terry Tomo mentions what if Omega was a Jedi clone experiment? Ooh. Warren, not Earn, autocorrect. No problem. No problem, Josh. At all. Christina, what if Padme had an obstetrician in actual care and lived? Has anyone read the Star Wars comics that are like this? Yeah, it's got... Actually, I was thinking of that for my third one. Vader suddenly has like white armor on and he becomes a good guy. Pretty neat. Mason's number 1. This is like a thing that Mason is doing. I think he's demonstrating autocorrect there. But Mason's number 1 is what if the Ewoks were evil ventriloquist dummies? Is that the creepiest thing you've ever heard? It is to me. Mason has recently come across the Goosebumps series. He loves Goosebumps. He really likes the Slappy series, which is an evil ventriloquist dummy. Is there a nice ventriloquist dummy? I don't think so. But Mason is what if the Ewoks were evil ventriloquist dummies? So that was his, for sure. Joseph. Hey, Joseph. He says, what if Vader lied and really Obi-Wan was Luke's father? Well, that would be fascinating. Like, the fact that we have honorable mentions tonight is awesome. This list really made us think. I'm glad. Like, this was like, I was on full-on teacher mode. I really wanted to make you think and get really creative. And you all were brilliant. Give yourselves a round of applause. You were all excellent tonight. Great ideas. No problem, Mason. I knew it was an accident, buddy. Terry's says, tonight's top 5 mirrored the intent of a comic series called Star Wars Infinities. That's the one. I left mentioning this before tonight, but it's a tremendous alternative Star Wars series. It's great. Ben says, get C-3PO to translate Mason's texts. That's okay. Oh, he lost the connection. Yep, that happens. So no worries. Josh's what if Obi-Wan went to fight the Emperor and Yoda fought Anakin? Ooh, that's a cool idea. You guys, that was so good. So good. Thank you so much. Well, next week's is going to be very challenging as well. It's not going to be as much of the creative side, but it's going to be more like forcing you to make choices that are going to be very hard to make. Trust me, very hard to make. Next week's top 5 is your top 5 favorite episodes of Star Wars Visions. Top 5 Star Wars Visions episodes. They're all going to be out on Wednesday. And you're going to have to list them. You're going to have to list your top 5 favorite Star Wars episodes. And that is not going to be easy. It is not going to be easy. Trust me. You've got your work cut out for you, but that's going to be next week. Ben says, here's a scary one. What if George Lucas never got to make Star Wars? That would be scary. Would I still be sitting here talking to you? What would I be talking about? It wouldn't be Pacific Rim. I can tell you that. All right. Very good, everybody. So let's go ahead and we're going to jump into Ask Dan Z. Thank you again, everybody, for doing your homework and getting this thing ready, because it has been great. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a hard one. Blake says, yes, anime, CWK fans, rejoice. Christina's looking forward to Visions. Daniel says they're all out at once. Aren't they? I thought they were. Yeah. Would I even be alive? Yes, I think you would. Ridley Scott would make Star Wars. Yeah, that would be cool. All right, let's go ahead and jump into Ask Dan Z. All right, so this is your chance to ask me anything Star Wars related. I'll answer whatever I can for sure. You may notice I did a little bit of changes here in the studio. I got my classic figures up here, some of the originals, and then I've got my droid that I built at Galaxy's Edge. You may have seen on Instagram. I post a lot of stuff on Instagram. In fact, I'll be giving you reviews of Star Wars Visions tomorrow on my Instagram story. So go to Coffee with Kenobi's Instagram. If you're not already following Coffee with Kenobi Instagram, please do so. On stories, we're going to go and find out my opinions on some stuff. Dan, what's your favorite non-film Star Wars story? Favorite non-film Star Wars story? Probably Star Wars Rebels, if that counts. If it's just a book, then probably Bloodline. But if it's not a book, then it would be Star Wars Rebels for sure. Can we do another what if list in the future? Definitely. We will. Christina likes the orange one. Cool, I like that one too. Blake says, as I accidentally knocked my desk that holds all my action figures, knocked over half of them, I must ask, what's the most annoying thing about collecting Star Wars action figures? Probably not finding the ones that you really want, or when there are exclusives and they sell out really quickly, like from certain stores only. That I think that's pretty frustrating too. Is it too late to plan for Celebration next year? Are tickets still available? Terry, I don't think tickets are available, but there hasn't been any talk about Celebration for a while. So, gosh, I don't know. I'm hoping to hear something. I will certainly try to find out, and I'll try to let everybody know, because I think that would be really, really neat. Nicholas says, how are you introduced to Star Wars? Well, growing up, I saw the commercials for the original Star Wars, and I wanted to see it, but we weren't allowed to see it because it was PG, and we weren't allowed to see PG movies. But eventually, through a lot of word of mouth and my cousin Raquel telling my mom and dad that it was okay, my brother and I saw it in a drive-in movie theater in New Orleans, Louisiana for the first time. And look out. Before that, though, I did have some of the action figures, including C-3PO, because I thought they were cool-looking toys. I had no idea about the characters then, but that was it, man. I just went crazy. Brian, if you could make a What If Marvel episode, what would you make? You know, that's a good one. There's a lot to choose from. I would do some more stuff with Black Panther, but I had the Killmonger thing a lot differently. I would have definitely had him make some better choices. I think I would have done that. I think it'd be cool to see what if Spider-Man, what if Uncle Ben lived? That was an interesting idea as well. That's a good one. I have to really think about that. Mason says the Goosebump books are amazing. He loves them. You can look how he wrote it right there. He loves them. They were fun. I'm glad he's reading them. Josh, you read the Colin Trevorrow episode 9 script? I have not. I don't do that. I don't read like alternative scripts. I just kind of take what they have, although I certainly get it and I dig that people like it. And more power to them. I've seen some of the concept art. It's hard to sort of avoid them. And it looks fascinating to me. I was initially trepidatious about Colin Trevorrow doing anything with Star Wars because I did not like, and if you heard our top 5 least favorite movies on CWK pour over a few weeks ago, you know how much I did not like Jurassic World. So, I don't know, it all kind of worked out, I guess, in its own unique way. Amber's working on fan fiction called Hunters. I'll be sure to share it with you. Awesome. Daniel, how's that book printing sector doing? I heard it may be difficult to get hard copy books this fall due to paper and staff shortage. I don't know. No one has said anything to me about that. Of course, my latest book, The Star Wars Character Encyclopedia, updated and expanded edition, coming from DK Books, is coming out in November, but I've not heard anything about a shortage, so hopefully there won't be. Alex, how much do you want to bet they're going to make a time book for the Galactic Star Cruiser before its grand opening? Oh man, that would be cool. I hadn't thought about that, Alex, but I would love that idea. By the way, pictures of your son on Facebook are absolutely adorable. That's so great. I hope you and looks like you and your wife are having the best time, and I'm so glad, buddy. I'm with you. I don't particularly care for Jurassic World either. Actually, I didn't mind Fallen Kingdom too much, surprisingly. But Jurassic World, no thanks. I keep mentioning CWK Pour. So if you are a member of the CWK Alliance, which is a great way to support Coffee with Kenobi, get some additional content. You get a bonus podcast episode each week about Star Wars or other popular culture topics. And at a certain level, you get a video version of the podcast as well. This week's on Facebook Live, every month we do a special one where we feature a member of the CWK Alliance. And this week, we had LJ Souder on to talk about our top 5 favorite guilty pleasures. This was a topic that LJ picked up. So basically once a month, I randomly pick a member of the CWK Alliance, and they come on the show and with me, Corey, and Tom, and they pick their own top 5. And we do a video podcast. So we have an absolute blast for sure. But if you're interested, go to www.coffeewithkenobi.com/CWK Alliance. And that's how you can get access to that and support me and give back to the show as I hope to give back to you for sure. Okay. Very, very good. So let's see. We've got a few other things here. Wait, I don't like Jurassic World. I do not like Jurassic World. I like the special effects, but I feel like the characters in that just weren't as interesting. And to care about the peril, to me, you have to care about the characters. And I didn't like the human characters in that one. I did like him more in Fallen Kingdom, though, I will say. So, all right, well, that's going to do it. Mason says, Goosebumps. Slappy World's my favorite Goosebump books. I'm even writing my own. Yes, he is. Mason's working on his own little book. So I think that's great. I love that. He's doing a great job. He's very imaginative, so we're very, very proud of him. Chloe says, not a question about to share. I'm going to see Hamilton in 12 days and join the CWK Alliance. It's awesome. Well, thank you, brother. I appreciate that. And you are going to love Hamilton. I know Minta's a big Hamilton fan. She posts about it on Twitter all the time. And because it's great. It's a great narrative experience. It's going to blow your mind, dude. Can't wait to hear what you think about it. Again, join me next Monday night at 7 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. I'll be ready to review your favorite episodes of Star Wars Visions. You're going to love the series. It's going to blow you away. Minta, may the Force be with you. Mary, have a great week to you as well. Again, thanks everybody for making such great lists. Ben wants to sign first edition of Mason's book. Good deal. Mason says, good night, my dudes. Dan and CWK family night, brother. Jason, have a great rest of the week. I love you being a part of this community. I love this community. We've got some great Star Wars fans here. This is what it's all about, man. It's an escape. It's fun. We don't always agree, but we're not disagreeable because we love this franchise. We love this galaxy far, far away. Christina, have a great day. Nick, you too. Thanks for all the interesting what ifs. I echo that sentiment. Goodbye, Alex. See you, Amber. Cheers, Ross. Christina, have a great week. See you later, everybody. By the way, 3 episodes of Coffee with Kenobi this week. You've got this one, got a special show tomorrow, and then the normal show on Thursday. So lots of Coffee with Kenobi for you to enjoy for sure. Yeah, Colby, thanks again for joining us. Thanks to all of you. Have a great one. May the Force be with you. And this is a live podcast you're looking for. See you next time.
This podcast is not endorsed by the Walt Disney Company or Lucasfilm Limited. It is intended for entertainment and informational purposes only. The official Star Wars website can be found at www.starwars.com. Star Wars, all names, sounds, and any other Star Wars related items are registered trademarks and or copyrights of Disney and their respective trademark and copyright holders. All original content of this podcast is the intellectual property of Coffee with Kenobi unless otherwise indicated.
This is the podcast you're looking for.
There's no one here. Move along. Move along.